Sairam, Elisabetta.
Sairam.
Thank you so much for sharing this morning. Elisabetta has been a devotee of Swami since the mid-90s. So why don't you start with telling us a little bit about how you came to Swami?
I have met Swami through a very good friend of mine, a couple of friends of mine, Sonia and Andrew Gurbaksani. Sonia happened to be the tutor of my son when we moved to America. And one day she was showing me her prayer room, and when I saw the picture, I just said, Sai Baba. And she said, oh my gosh, you know him? And I said, yeah. And so from that moment on, our friendship has bloomed. And at that time, I started going to the center quite often. I don't do this today. I go once in a while, but Swami is always with me. I believe that God is always around us. And but at that time, I was going very frequently. I was crying a lot. Listening to the chants was beautiful. The energy was amazing. I was 15 when I started getting some interest in the spiritual world. I was fascinated by meditation, and I wanted to find an energy, a divine energy, a guidance that could help me to become a better human being. I was just interested by all these people that were talking about energy, about healing, about miracles. And I happened to have a colleague whose friend went to meet Sai Baba in India, and Sai Baba materialized a ring for him. And he gave this ring to this friend of mine. We did work together at the time. And that was the first time totally that I heard about Sai Baba. I went to look online to find information, and I kept this thought about him in my mind for a long time until I happened to meet Sonia, and from there my story developed. But I would like to tell you about one episode that happened to me while I was going through those dark days with my son. I remember we were still at the beginning of this journey, and we were vacationing in Italy, and my son was sleeping. And like I did every night, I was crying because I didn't know what I could do. There is no cure for Tourette. So I remember I was watching TV, it was late at night, and I was so upset, so in pain. And at the point I just screamed, Sai Baba, if you really are next to me, show me, give me a sign, show me. Turn the screen of the television the color of your vest. And in that moment, the television turned the color of Sai Baba vest. And I got goosebumps all over me. And then I said, it must have been a coincidence. Okay, if it was you, show me again. Show me. And it did it again. But still, I couldn't believe it was happening, you know? So at a certain point, I remember that I said, well, if it's you, you have to turn the television off. And in a second, the television was off. And that was a moment when I said, I'm sorry, Swami, I doubted you. I was still at the beginning of this journey. I was really at the beginning. I didn't know his powers, and I never doubted from that moment on. I also had another episode when, again, during this journey, I was dreaming about him one night, and for some reason, it was very late at night. Suddenly I just woke up, and it was a fraction of a second, but his face was here in front of me. I will never forget that. It was an amazing experience. And how can you forget those things? That's an experience that stays with you for a lifetime. And I don't tell these stories to many people because most of my friends don't believe in these things, but it doesn't matter to me because I had the experience and it was amazing. So I'm very grateful to Swami for being part of my life.
Jai Sai Ram, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that, Sai Ram.